high-risk investment. Trading on margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Before deciding to trade, you should carefully consider your investment objectives, level of experience, and risk appetite. The possibility exists that you could sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment, and therefore you should not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. You should be aware of all the risks associated with trading and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. Market opinions. Any opinions, news, research, analyses, prices, or other information contained on this video is provided as general market commentary and does not constitute investment advice. Master the Markets will not accept liability for any loss or damage, including without limitation to any loss of profit, which may arise directly or indirectly from use of or reliance on such information.
Hello traders, and welcome to our live trading workshop webinar today. So we got a lot in store for you. So today what we're going to be doing, for those of you joining in new for the first time, we are going to be first taking a look at some live trading potential trades at the moment, okay, that is happening. So I have kind of filtered out some, like the GBP/USD, the gold, and the dollar yen. So we'll take a look at that. The other thing also, we've got a topic for you today as well, and that is how to fix your losses in 3 steps, okay? So we'll be taking a look at why that happens because of the POE and MP, you don't have that, and the down studies and all of that, right? Don't worry about all of this. I'll talk about that in a very short while. And then after that, we're going to be taking a look at some events, upcoming events that are coming up, and then there'll be a section for Q&A as well, okay? This and more in this live trading workshop. Hello traders, for those of you joining in new for the first time, this is Tyrone Alpan here, founder of Master the Markets, Illustrious Conference and the Traders Open Day. So without further ado, let's quickly go into the trade setting up for today. I did take a look on my probability tables here, the trend alignment tables. I've got first, gold is what I'm really liking at the moment. Just as I took a look just now, I'm going to analyze that together with you guys. So I've got an uptrend phase 2 here. So let's see what may look good. Sometimes when you analyze it step by step, it might not be the best setup. So I will do that together with you guys right now. So downtrend phase 2. Now, as I was explaining, I mean, I was over at the IG index offices over the week on Monday actually, and I was also looking through this, and one of the reasons, I'll show you all a reference link as well where me and Ange actually did an interview, and it's really great, you guys. I highly encourage you guys to see this on YouTube as well. You know, it looks like this. I'll talk about it later. But now coming back to gold over here, where I explained as well, you know, about the tops and bottoms being quantified. That's why we got this trends and phases over here, right? All quantified here. There's no guesswork. That's how I'm able to get my trend direction and alignment. Now, based on this, so we got uptrend phase 2, downtrend phase 2. Then let me get my 1 hour time frame. Thanks to actually all our clients that we actually got all of this. They were the ones who coded all of this onto TradingView. They got inspired just like you guys. You came on to one of these live streams. They really liked what we did, and they just joined the community and just really uplifted it. Here is uptrend phase 2 here on gold here as well, and then on the 15-minute I'm getting an uptrend phase 1, so on the smaller time frame. And actually I'm getting a setup that I usually like on the 15-minute, which is after this compression I'm getting a seller bar. So if this is not real selling, if it comes back up again, that's where we can look to get in, traders, okay? And this is a compression setup as well, so this is good. So the critical points I will take a look at is these 2 levels. Now before I jump into the trade, gotta hold my horses a little bit, or put the pending order in. I'll still have to look through a few more things. We've got this thing called the stretch principle as well, yeah? This is the three lines over here that has been coded by our clients as well. And this was popularized by Toby Crable, which was a big hedge fund billionaire trader, actually. Actually, rumor goes that, it was actually taught by my mentor's mentor, but not really sure if that's really true. It might be true. Makes sense because, when I read his book, he actually references kind of the concepts of the stretch principle. Really quite solid one. We've done some videos. I'll give you all some reference links later as well. So over here on the stretch principles, taking out the green line, which is what we call the upper stretch, which again signals towards the upside for today for the range of the bar to be formed. Remember, the objective of these strategies is towards an intraday, yeah, just for the day only, for the range to be formed. Now, in terms of the range, I can easily get that if I look at the 1 hour. Right, so if I take a look at the 1 hour over here, let me take a look. That's 8 o'clock, right, as of today. On the 4th, 11 o'clock. So let me just do that, traders. And then I will apply the VSA principles onto here as well, because volume is the icing, me and Gavin, we always talk about that. So here, 11 o'clock, 0 to 8. Oh yeah, it is still in a range, isn't it? I really like to take a look usually at these levels. The 8 o'clock and the 12 o'clock range, isn't it? So it's not taken that out. So the main ones I'll be taking a look at is this one here, the 7 to 8. It just took it out. 5096 is what I'll be taking a look at. So let me just write that down over here. Let me just correlate that onto here. So you see, you got to take a look at all of this. There's a whole reasoning behind this, okay? There's a whole big logic behind it. I'll give you some reference videos. I don't have time to go through it extensively at the moment, but when you understand it, you'll see, oh wow, this is crazy. This makes sense. Like, this really, really makes sense, right? And a lot of clients who have learned this as well, they're actually applying it, and they got more time in the day. It depends on your availability. And they are really doing very well on it. I mean, the most important thing is that they understand what they're doing. That's the most important thing. 12 o'clock, yeah, I think I've got it. I think this is the range for the 8 and this one. So I'm just going to put here, that's not really giving us to the upside. So I'll show you this table in a minute. You can use a similar table as well. I've shown you all this before on our live streams. You can also go through the previous live streams. I'll give you all the reference links very shortly. The Bro to ST ratio is another thing that I look at. So far, let me just quickly, sometimes to get that, I would say it still looks to the upside, that one. Right, so let me keep it on the 15 minute here. The Bro to ST is to the upside, previous daily high and low. Now that's a good one. Let me just see. Yes, it's taken out that as well. This is what I'm looking at, previous daily high and low. So that's taken out that one there. So good. So let me show you this table now, what I'm saying now, and then I'll summarize what we have just done and what's the purpose of it, okay? So you see, across this table here, I have put the trends and the phases across every time frame, okay? So I can see across 3 time frames at least, daily, 1 hour and 15 minute, it's on the upside, right? And then at least on the 4 hours still, even though it's a downtrend, but phase 2, right? So it's a bottom to top, direction is still to the upside. But then direction-wise, it's still to the downside here as long as it turns up. Now, the clue after this, after I take a look at the trend alignment table, I look at, after these 4 columns here, this is what we call the bar mechanics, okay? My objective is of this strategy is to capture the range of the bar that is forming today, an 80% range. That's the whole premise. I'll give you all the full reference links later where you can go and study into this. Very, very logical. And then you can use whatever indicators you want on top of it as well if you think that will improve it. Now over here, on the bar mechanics, I can see, 3 out of 4 is all pointing to the upside, right? And over here as well. So I got about more or less, 6 out of 8. It's still okay. I mean, even though I would like the direction alignment to be a bit better, but this is what we have at the moment. And then what we also got is this one here, the direction bias. So you see, the reason for doing all of this, whatever parameters that you may have, the reason for doing all of this is twofold, which is what I was talking to Angeline as well when I was talking about the IG Index Studios, IG TV, is the objective of all of this is towards direction bias, okay? Whether you're going to go long or short, that's the first thing. The second thing, just because we have formed the bias to go long doesn't mean we just jump in. The next thing is timing, okay? When am I going to get in, okay? So that's the second part. So now I'll go through that now and I will see and I'll put that out there on our Telegram channel. Now you see on our, this one here, right, on the, let me take a look. In terms of timing, I wanted to break this neckline here, okay, because of this this seller bar here. That's one. I can see a bit of volume spikes over here, maintaining this bottom here. I can see a compression. Not the best of volume setups, I must say. I'm just going to take a look at the 1 hour to see if I can see a bit more strength over there. I'm just going to put the VSA from Trade Guide team over here as well on the volume side of things. In terms of, let me see. Right, this is turning into gray dots as well from the VSA light. That's a healthy sign that it might be turning around. And then on the other hand, I will do that. Yeah, on the 1 hour, that's looking green. That's good. Really can't see very big elephant in the rooms. Last time I was looking at with Angeline on IG Index over their studios, we did see a lot of elephant in the rooms actually. I'll show you all the reference link for that video as well. Now, okay, so with all that said, so it's still looking towards the upside, but I just want a bit more confirmation. So I'm going to put a pending order. I'm not going to jump in live on here. And you have seen in the live streams that whenever we put a pending order, we've been actually saved and we actually preserve our capital, right? Not to take unnecessary losses. Okay, if you followed your plan and you got a loss, it's part of the game. It's part of probabilities, right? To think that you can form 100% reliable strategy, I think it's a bit foolish, isn't it? So in terms of this, this is where we would like to get in over here. So high would be 5063. So I'll give it to the team over here. They can put it out on Telegram as well. So on gold, and then we can see how this plans out to be. So gold here on long, and then entry we are looking at. Please do adjust your spreads accordingly. 5063 4, 5065, 5063. Let me just take a look at that. We might not maybe even get an entry. 5065, isn't it? Is what I said. 5065. And then your stop loss would be at this low here, right? 5022. So we're going on the long side. And then my target would be, I would just go for the 1 ATR number for the moment. So let me just take a look at that. So 1 ATR, $20. So 5085. So this is my smaller target. This is what we did last time on silver as well. And then it did hit our target, but it didn't hit the bigger target. So in terms of this, so I'll change this. Maybe I'll do that. Just bear with me here. So, right. So I'll send this off. Some of you, this is my first target. So the the team can put that out there. So here, visually, so what have we got? We got 5065, right? Please put your spreads and all that accordingly. And then you got your 5085 here. will be much more lower here. And then your stop, you got your 5021. Okay. Good. So I think we got all of that here. So diagrammatically, that's what we have. Now, if you want a larger target towards capturing the range for today, what I'll be looking at is yesterday's ATR, which is about 341. I've got some formulas that I can punch into here. 341, that's about 272 is what I got. So 272 traders from the low of today. So the low is 4910. Okay, do remember I'm looking at the gold spot as well, but you all understand the principle. If you're doing it futures, if you're in US, then do it accordingly to your numbers. 4910 plus, let me just get the calculator out. So 4910 plus, let me just do that very quickly. Just give me a moment. 4910 plus my 80% out of, let me see, 341, 272. Let me see that. 5182. That's where my larger target will be. So here, and then I also tell you why we place all this initial stop loss, all this in here. When we go through our topic as well, right? How to fix losses and everything, 3 simple steps. Very powerful one there. And also, mainly we'll answer the question of when to break even, because that's a big one that people usually ask. So 5182 over here, and there we go, right? That would be around here. If I've done the calculation correctly, I think maybe I might have done something wrong. Let me see. So 40, right. So maybe this hasn't got decimal points, isn't it? So this is 341. Yeah, I think it should be correct. 341. Let me just see. Yeah, it's doing that. So that's 292. So 4910 plus 272. Let me just see that. Yeah, quite a bit. 5182. Yeah, that's right. So if it does do that, I think we will get to that level today on the 80% range there. Okay. So those are all my levels locked in there. So my target number 2, we can post this on Telegram as well if you guys want to monitor that. There was one time when we did a live with Gavin and I, and we were broadcasting it from central London there, and we did it on Brent oil, and all 3 targets got hit. The thing is to let go of outcome. I think that's the main thing. Okay, I think with that said, we got everything locked in. Just as a recap, that's your entry there on the blue line, 5065. That's your 5021 stop. And then my first target is here, 5085. And then my second is going to be over here. Okay. In terms of probabilities, because of time as well, there are 3 more hours until it really breaks out. Second target looks a bit tricky today, but let's see on the first one. At least the second one will be at least to take out the range. Okay, those of you want to look at that, you can keep an eye on that as well. I'll keep a look at volume as well. That's what we can do. That's why, the patience is always important. Now, after all the seller bars, if it does revert, then you can see that this buying pressure is a bit true and real, okay, and is maintained that low over there. So that's the best way to play it out. But again, everything's on probabilities, right? Nothing is 100% foolproof. I think with that said, I think I'll keep this here. Some of you have been pressing me a lot in terms of what reference links and all that. Please tell us. I want to understand this. This is making a lot of sense. So what I will do, I'll do this. I will also do this as well in the time being. I'll let this populate up in terms of some stats, right? So we can take a look at some stats later on, because you all would have heard it, right? Trading is based on probabilities, isn't it, right? So, but nobody shows you probabilities. We are the only company which shows. which is far as I've heard. So you can see all of that, but I'll talk about that later on, okay? So now, first thing first, if you want to start off, some of you are asking about reference links and all that. Let me just quickly also keep an eye on the questions that are coming in. I think just one of you just say, can you please enlarge your screen? Okay, that's good. So I believe that has been done, boys. Right. So 7steps-to-CTP.com. So this is the one which will take you step by step, okay, on what we have created over here. This was actually developed back in the 1960s and 70s by my mentor's mentor. He actually references Richard Wyckoff quite a lot. And then after that, which was popularized by Tom Williams on the VSA principles. That's why it blends in so much well with the VSA principles. When you put this in, you get precision, right? We even made a video as well on that, how to make the VSA strategy even more robust and strong. And a lot of VSA clients have joined us along with both our companies, you know, the Trade Guider and the Master the Markets, found really good benefit. So you can get all the 7 videos. After you put all your details over here, click on the green button. And then after that, traders, what happens is that you get the 7 videos here, right? You can either watch them one by one per day, you get the email, or you can click on the Fast Learner link, you can see it all. This has been put in really well. It does it systematically, okay? So it tells you the main challenge that traders have, which is always starts with a problem. Then how do you solve it, right? And then this is how they solved it. So that's what video 2 will tell you on quantifying your tops and bottoms. After that, then it talks about the 3 stats that you get, which is the critical one, video number 4, which is on losses, which I will touch on a little bit today on our topic, how to fix losses. And then after that, then the 6 and 7 is on the strategy application. Okay, how do you apply all this on the strategy? So go through all of this is really highly recommended. Those of you who have seen it before, revisit it. Those of you who have seen it quite a few times, now you want to take the next leap, but you know, life got in the way, you know, we all know how that is, and time got in the way, then you can always go on to the SMI and VSA page. You can then get both the indicators on top of your screen, just like this. Over here, you know, the SMI and the VSA over here with all the volume. You can get it on this page. Now, those of you who've already got VSA, you can get a small discount, okay? So I think the discount code will be there. I think there'll be a small £50 discount off the price, either the monthly, the quarterly, or the yearly, accordingly. So then you can then get them. Okay, so on that said, that will be on your YouTube channel if you guys want to get the discount code. We will put that out there. Now, the other thing on our YouTube channel also, right? So I want to tell you a few things. So on our YouTube channel, what you got to do, traders, right, is that after you go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/master the market. So let me just type that. I know something else comes up. Yeah, there you go. youtube.com/master the markets. That's the one. After you've come here, I know some of you say you don't get notifications to your phone, right? Whenever we go live. So what you do is after you click subscribe, you click on the all bell icon. This will give you notifications to your phone as well, okay? And then these are all our past live streams. You can go through it, and then some videos over here. So the way we do it, right, traders, is we first, you know, the topic area, we teach you all the theory, the application. After that, then we live trade and also show you our results. This is what you're seeing over here. This is how we've always been. Our philosophy is always research, trade, and share, okay? This is the 3-step philosophy that we follow. So you can watch all that now. For those of you asking about, I did see something about the stretch principle. To understand the stretch principle, you can go onto this playlist over here, right? On the must-watch section on the second row, you can watch the stretch principle videos, you know, and give a thumbs up. It really helps you. And hit the like button as well. Okay, good. That's on the stretch principle videos. And then the past live streams, you want to look at even more past live streams, click on here on the live section, you can do that. That was my previous interview also with Angelina. I'll show you the recent one that you guys can go and check as well. This is Trade Guider channel as well. So you definitely do the same, youtube.com/Trade Guider. They are the ones which on the VSA principle popularized by Tom Williams, originated from Richard Wyckoff. And then over here, do the same thing. After you click subscribe, click on all. And then if you go in the live section over here as well, you can see the previous, all the live sections that we have also done along with them. I think they need to upload that back again. I think you can capture that. But most of it is also on our channel as well. So you can definitely also go on the live over here. If you go on the live over here, you can see all our lives that we have done as well with Gavin and us on the VSA principles. Okay. Okay, good. So that one there, and then the other thing that I did want to mention, yes, Angelin's, that I went on Monday actually earlier this week on IG Index Studios. You can watch this; it's a really good one. It's really caught up quite a lot of views and likes already. So you can go and watch that. I'll talk a lot about Bitcoin, Tesla. We look at short term, long term. It was a really good chat. I really enjoyed it. So there'll be a link over there. You can go watch it at your own free time as well. Okay. Right. Trade Nation, quick shout out. They are the proud sponsors of our Illitrators Mastermind Annual Summit as well, and also on our Telegram channel as well. Okay, so they really help us towards that. Another thing I do want to say, upcoming events also Dubai. We've been invited to come and speak in Dubai on the next Prop Trading Expo. So we'll be speaking over there on the 17th to the 18th. I'll be there for a few more days after that as well, just to have some more meetings with my mentor and also our programmer team as well. So some of them are flying out there. And so some of you want to catch us live, want to catch up with us, network with us. If you're in Dubai, reach out to us, come to our stand, and we will be happy to talk to you. So that's happening on the 17th and 18th of April. Now, those of you who want to get all the tickets, get ready for it, do it soon. The other thing also that's coming up is the Trader's Talk with Mark Randall, right? So he's very well known on the psychology side. He really coaches a lot of institutions and everything. I had an amazing time talking to him. He's also one of the co-founders of the Alpha Mind project, along with Stephen Goldstein. I think some of you also know Stephen Goldstein and Mark Randall. So they're quite well-known names. And they got a really big podcast called the Alpha Mind Project, which I'll also probably be also on their podcast as well, talking on psychology and trading. But before that, he'll be on our Trader Talk. Definitely catch that one. It's a really good one to catch on. That's on the 17th of February. Those of you on our email list already, you will get that. And also now you'll get a link also if you want to join in from the YouTube. Then you can also get all our events updates as well for the future. Now, with that said, I'm seeing time is always on the go, is it not, traders? Just a quick look on gold. What's happening with gold? Still not coming out of that range, which is good, which is why we have pending orders, is it not, traders, right? Now I believe it's breaking towards the downside. Those of you who do want to take it to the downside, you can, but according to our strategy rules over here, I'm going to sit on my hands on this one, right? It's just not pertaining, okay? If there's another strategy that you're doing, in this case, it's on a downtrend phase one, isn't it, right? Some of you traders which have been following our stats and different types of strategies that you can do, another thing that you can do also is on the 1 ATR from this confirmation bar here, okay? That's more a scalping one which you have already hit by now, okay? But I'm purposely not taking this trade on this particular strategy because most important thing is always consistent execution, okay? Of course, every strategy will have its own objectives. So on this particular strategy, on strategy number one, which is based on the stretch principle, I'm not taking it because it's not come back to take out that level. But on strategy number two, those of you who have taken that, that's great. That's another thing that we teach as well. Just based on just trends on the lower time frame, okay? Of course, everything will have its pros and cons. That on a 1 ATR level, that would have already hit your target. I think with that said, that's also based on the stats that we got over here, okay? I'll just let that populate over here, and then let's swiftly move on to today's topic, how to fix losses, okay? A three-step process. I had prepared a small presentation, so let's take a look at this. And then I will alternate between the charts and the trading view, okay? Right, so this fixes losses, okay? Three steps that you will never ever hear about as a retail trader. I promise you that, and I'll deliver on the promise, just like what we did last session as well, okay? So what are the three reasons why people are getting losses? Firstly, they don't have a POE or a MP locked in, okay? Either a point of entry or a maximum point. They don't have any clue about that. Second thing, they don't have any dance studies as well. I'll tell you what that fancy word means in a minute. The technical term, the serious technical term. And then after that, you also will be going through, because they don't have a distribution table. Everybody says trading is based on probabilities, right? But they will never show you a distribution table. What you really need, traders, is something like this, okay? Which I'll show you how to create step by step. And that's why it's a 3-step process, which is what you guys need to take a look at. Something like this, okay? Something like this. This is what we call a distribution table. I will go through a little bit on it, but if you want a lengthy explanation, I would say go to 7stepstoctp.com. It's covered over here on the MAE section, on the video number 4, okay? That's that one there, all right? Okay, good. So on that said, let me get back to here. Let's see. Right, keep an eye on gold as well, see what it will do. Right, and then the final thing, the bonus one, what I'm also going to be covering a little bit, touching on it, is when to break even. This is a big question, isn't it? When should I break even? Because most of us don't want a large open profit on the table, or you don't want it to come back and turn into a negative unrealized loss, or even worse, to negative realized loss as well. So we don't want all of that. So when should we break even quickly, but in a way that you don't get stopped out and see the market run without you? Okay, like this, right? It stops you out, and then after that, it just keeps running. Okay. Some of you might say, you know what, yes, Thiru, but I can re-enter and all that. But even with re-entry, you all know, the seasoned traders, there are some issues with that as well, right? So I'll cover all of that, okay? And I'll just touch on them. Okay, good. So the first thing is, there is no point of entry and maximum point reached, okay? So how do you solve that? The first thing is, you need to quantify the beginning of your swing and the end of your swing. For a large time, and I was also doing the interview at the IG Index studios as well, you can see that for a large time, and most of us are kind of swing traders. Even though we may not call ourselves swing traders, we're kind of trading a part of a swing, aren't we, on a smaller time frame, which is part of maybe a bigger swing on a larger time frame, right? But how do you correlate this? How do you get the clarity on it? So the first thing what you got to do is quantify your beginning of your swing and the end of your swing. And to do that, some of you might have figured it out, especially those of you that have been following us for quite some time and have been trained by us as well. The way to do it is, the first step is to quantify your top and bottoms. Okay, right? That is video number 2, right? In your 7stepstoctp.com. See over here. Right, you will start to see, even when I explain it over there, that will make much more sense, right? Video number 2 over there. Why you have to quantify your top and bottoms. Now, if you quantify that, as you have seen over here on this diagram, you see that's a blue arrow over there, right? So that's my bottom, but that bottom, right, gets confirmed according to your quantification or your formulas that you come up with on this blue dot over here, which we call the confirmation bar. So the confirmation bar confirms this swing low, okay? Right? Now you see I've quantified the beginning of a swing, okay? Now, when is the end of the swing? So just like how you got the formulas for the bottom, you come out with some of the formulas for the top, right? And if according to your formulas, that is already a top, and this was the bar that confirmed it, then you can put, in our case, what we usually do, we put an orange dot, just like what we're seeing over here. So you put an orange dot, and then you put a top. So the arrow and the orange dot happens at the same time. Okay, right? So this is the bar that confirms the formulas and confirms this arrow. Okay, that's what it does. Right, so we got that part, yeah? So quantify the beginning of the swing and the end of the swing. Now, what does that do? So what that helps you with is that if you do know when the point of entry and the maximum point is reached, the beginning and the end, that will lead you to the second point, the second step, which will help you also fix your losses. Once I do that, then the next thing is the dance, right? So what do you mean by this dance? Doesn't make sense. Actually, this word I was using serious technical terms, and only our US client, actually Stuart, came up with this thing. Oh, Thiru, you mean the dance, right? So what the dance basically means is basically your volatility, okay? And if you want to get specific, what we call the terminology for this is maximum adverse excursion, okay? Your MAE number, right? Which is part of the volatility. Now, whether it's trading or whether it's investment, this volatility number is important, and whether if it will suit your acceptance levels or not, right? And you have to accept it before you get into the trade. If you don't accept it, and if you do not know that number, that is where the panic happens, okay? And that is when you start to take unnecessary losses. So, how does the first step of locking in your point of entry, which is the beginning of the swing, and then the end of the swing by the top confirmation, give us this number on the dance studies, which is your volatility number? So let me explain, okay? So what here is that, even if I use the previous one, so I can take a look at even something in real time as well. So if you take a look now, let me just quickly also take a look. You see gold, right? It's taken out that level over there. But you see, but it wasn't in pertaining to our rules over here. So I'll leave that as it is. Now here, let me see if I can find a good example for you guys. That one is actually okay. And maybe I can, if I can show something in real time, I think that would be more better, is it not? It'd be more easier also to understand. Right, so it's basically how much it goes against you before it goes to your target. This is what we are after. Okay, maybe this is a good example. So you see over here, right? The beginning of the swing happens here. Okay, traders, right? So the beginning of the swing happens here. And then look, so this, if let's say if you're going short on this, okay, so let me just reduce this. This is a good one. I can see some volume spikes happening. So this would be good on the downside, but we don't have time. Those of you who have already been coached on this, you can start to take a look at this. But you can see over here that on the point of entry, okay, if I were to take this on the short side, okay, it's a downtrend phase 1 here on the 15-minute, right? Just I'm simply taking it just out of one time frame. Now, if I were to do that, you see, if you were to enter here at 1.3693, at the moment, you see, your closes or your high of this bar is above your point of entry, isn't it? So you will have a negative unrealized loss at the moment, right? If you haven't come out of it yet, right? If you're not panicking and if you're not come out of it yet, right? So that's your blue line. So anything above that, you are in negative territory, okay? Now, once it goes in your favor, okay, towards this green line here, let's say I put that as green, towards your target, and more critically, if it goes below this blue line, right? So the next, which is your point of entry, okay? Your point of entry, which I've signaled as the blue line, yeah, where you entered. If it goes below the blue line, then you will be in positive territory, isn't it? In your account, right? You'll be seeing positive unrealized profit, okay? If it goes above it, it's unrealized loss, okay? Now tell me, okay, like you can type into the chat box or whatever on the YouTube or on the Zoom, whatever it is, what will you be more comfortable looking at? Even if it's unrealized, will you be more comfortable looking at negative unrealized loss or positive unrealized profit? What is it? Right. I can see some of you already saying that, right? So most of you, you're saying, yeah, of course, Thiru, we would like to see the positive unrealized profit to go below the blue line, right, in my direction. So you see, you and I know that not all the time, traders, that it goes straight in your favor, isn't it not? Yeah, we all know that. And you all say, yes, of course, Thiru, why would it go straight in my favor? It would go up and down a bit, which is what you're saying. which is what we're saying is the dance, right? How much above and down, then finally then it goes towards your target, right? So you need to know these numbers. So basically all we're saying is how much against you, how much move does it do against you, right? Which is above the blue line before it goes towards the target. So this manages my expectations and also tells me where to place my stop, right? And the good thing is that number, right, we can actually get it over here. We have coded all of this in because we got the first step right, right? Which is your point of entry and your maximum point rate. So if you take a look over here, so I'll show you these numbers here, right? So over here, you will see over here, right, on gold over here, this is all ATR numbers. If I place my stop 1.75 ATR away from this close over here, I won't get stopped out 97% of the time. So what it's telling me is that this is accounting for all the dances that has happened in the last 15, 16 years, okay? Because but you can change that number, how many years it wants to test that. But you can see over here, right? This is the power of it when you've quantified everything. 2010 to all the way to now, okay? So that is the thing that you need to know, right? Your negative dance number, okay? How much does it go against me before it comes down? So over here as well. So if you see here, so it tells me all over here. This swing MAE 0.328, yeah, 0.25. And then this one is 0. This one is 3.3. Immediately turn this one is 0. 3.38 here. This one did go against me quite a bit, right, in the beginning. So if you see, once I got my confirmation bar, which you can find out through the replay anyway because of this version over here. We kept it to 2 dots because it's more clearer. But over there you can see it's a bit of a dance before it came back further down, especially in this one here, right? Right. Once it confirmed, it stopped, but it danced around a lot before it came down even more. Okay, so that's why the MAE is a bit more over there, right? So over here, if you take a look at what I told you from the close, right? So if I were to do that from the close, okay, right to the top over here, okay, right? So that's how much it danced, okay? So that's about $24, okay? $24 divided by the ATR over here, that's about 0.8 ATR that it has danced. But this will give you the good number to put it so that it accounts for all kinds of dances that has happened in the 16 years. You can also get the raw number as well, or you can get the percentage number as well here. So you see, over here, ATR, pip, or percentage. You can do whatever that you want, right? So good. So that tells you all of that, and then you formulate your rules accordingly, which we can help you as well. We give you some examples in our members portal once you get all this indicators onto your screen. Okay. Remember, by now I think you will realize that these indicators are not buy and sell. They just give you a framework, okay, and makes it more clearer. So in terms of here, now coming back to here. So once you know that, once you know a volatility number, you then can sit through it patiently because you know what? It has danced around 1.75 ATR before. This is how you trade with conviction traders, okay? So even if that goes against you a little bit, just like what I showed you in examples, you will sit through it patiently and then finally then it comes down. This is how you trade with conviction, and this is also how you trade based on probabilities, okay? That's the way to trade, okay? Trade with conviction and trade based on probabilities. These are the way to do it, okay? The final thing, what I do also want to tell you is that once you know all these volatility numbers and everything, then you create your distribution table, okay? Most people don't have probability distribution table. That's why they keep taking losses after losses. That's where the MAE stats comes in, okay? This is what I've just shown you over here. You arrange it, you take it for each swing over here, code it all. We got a good programmer team, which is actually all our clients. This is the beautiful thing, right? That tells you that the product is really strong. And you know what? People are really finding logic out of this, okay? And sense as well. And nobody else does all of this, shows this even. So all this, you see, I'm measuring for each swing over here, and then I'm putting it all onto this table, and that's how you create your probability distribution table, okay? So it's telling you, you know what, it's got 2033 swings over all the years from before whatever, however much the broker gives you the data, and then it tells you, right, in terms of this, 48% of them, if you put it 0.25 ATR away, they get there. And then if you put it 1 ATR, you won't get stopped out 85% of the time. But of course, we have found that, usually look at around the 96%, 95% level, which is about 1.75 ATR. If you put it there, all this is telling you is that you won't get stopped out 96 or 97% of the time. That is real power when you trade like that, is it not, traders, right? So that is the true conviction. Now, good. So I think with that said, I think it's the last one what I want to give you, which was the bonus part, right? And the last step to fix losses. Now, so far we've gone through the 3 steps, isn't it? Right? These 3 steps fix losses. Okay, so you quantify the beginning and the end of your swing. Okay, you quantify the beginning. In fact, I think I'll summarize that in a minute. If some of you who can type into the chat box what are the 3 steps that you learn, or which step really resonated with you, that would be great. Before I summarize it, let me give you the bonus part. Now, the bonus part is always when you ask, when to break even. Because Thiru, I break even too quickly, I get paranoid, I've not accepted the volatility downs, I want to go in and break even, right? So how do you solve that? The way to do that, I don't have much time at the moment to do this, but study both the positive and the negative downs. Now, what do I mean by that? I just touch on this, I don't have much time. Is what you do is that you study the downs either towards the downside or the upside, is that you study the dance in this downside, what we are looking at over here towards the short side. You study the dance above the blue line, which would be negative, and you study the volatility below the blue line. And then the real question, what you're really looking to answer is how far does it go negative before it goes towards positive dance? So it never touches back the above the blue line. So that's how you need to think before you get those numbers, and then you then do it again on a probability distribution table, and then you will know when to break even on a statistical validative way. This way you will trade with conviction. Remember that to trade with conviction, you need 2 parts, okay? You can't just do guesswork, because your intellect, your logic and reasoning will start to play with you. Start saying, oh, that's not right, should I tweak it? And you'll always be thinking in terms of one trade, which is the wrong way to think about in this game, because it is a probability game. The next thing is, after your intellect has still been convinced about it, your emotional alignment got to come into play. And the emotional alignment is usually difficult for most people. It's like just like the gym, right? If you want to lose weight, isn't it? 2 things only, intellect-wise, knowledge-wise, only you need to do to lose weight. Exercise more, eat less, right? But how many people in the world do it, right? Because you don't have emotional alignment with it, which means you don't have the strong why. So the emotional alignment also why is difficult is because of all the past habits that you've learned, which is all that we are quite used to eating, all the junk food, isn't it? Crisps, burgers, and all that. Immediately to give it up tomorrow, even if you know, exercise more, eat less to lose weight is just the only thing to lose weight. But you can't give up those eating habits overnight. So to align the emotional alignment, you got to keep working on your mind, which is a 3-step process, which is unlearn, learn the new habit, unlearn the old habits, learn the new habit, and then keep relearning it. Okay, so I talked a little bit about this in the last session. Don't take up too much time, but this is how you look at it. Okay, and that's how you trade with conviction. With the intellect and emotions aligned, then you go towards trading with conviction and based on probabilities. Okay, so I think with that said, I know some of you have typed in quite a bit on the steps that you've learned. That's good. Some of you have learned quite a lot on the dance. Some of you are saying on the dance, the volatility number. That's good. Now you see the 3 steps. Just to summarize, first thing, quantify how to fix losses. Quantify the beginning and the end of the swing. For that, what do you need? You need your point of entry and your maximum point reached. The second thing that you need to do to fix your losses is know your volatility number, or in other words, know your MAE. Okay, if you want to use a fun term, that's the dance that it does before it goes towards in your favor. Now, the other thing then you need to do is create your distribution table. Okay, your probability distribution table. Finally, the purpose of this is to find out where to put your initial stop loss so that you won't get stopped out X percentage of the time, about 97 or 98% of the time. That's what you want. then you're now trading on probabilities. Now you're trading with conviction. And finally, the bonus section, when to break even, study both the dances. Okay, so these are the things that you can take a look at. Right, I think with that said, and I guess I've delivered on my promise over here. It's probably, highly probably something that you guys will never have heard about. That's what most of you over here are saying. Thank you so much. You never heard this before, right? Actually, in fact, I didn't hear this until my mentor actually taught us all of this, and I was like, wow, really makes sense. It's so logical. It's something that I've always been looking for. With all that said, I know we are running out of time. So the last few things I just want to tell you guys for the reference links once again, so that guys can go through this much more in your own pace as well, because I know over here we always got just a short space of time only, because we've got to cover the live trading as well as the topic as well. In fact, we're thinking of doing maybe splitting into two parts, really. I mean, just for Wednesdays, we just do live trading, and then maybe the topic we can upload it as a separate video. If you guys think that's a good idea, please do type it into the chat box as well. Right, now the recap on the link, 7stepstoctctp.com. This is when you get the 7 videos, everything I talked about. Remember the MAE, the dance, that's in video 4. These are all the 3 stats that you'll get. But the first step is to get your framework, which is quantifying your top and bottoms out of the problem that happens. And 6 and 7 is on the strategy construction application. Okay, we go through in much more detail strategy construction in Traders Basecamp package, so you can take a look at it over there as well. The last thing is, the other thing is, if you want to get both the indicators, SMI and VSA, that's the page to go to. You got the link. If you want, if you already got VSA, you can put a discount code over there, which you will have on the YouTube chat box as well. And then the reference links I gave you on our channel for YouTube. If you want to join our channel as well, youtube.com/master the markets, right? So that's the one over there. After you have joined it, hit the subscribe and hit the all bell icon, so that you always will get notified whenever we go live. This is a really good one for those of you VSA followers. You'll really like this one. The biggest VSA mistake, trading without probability. Okay, you can take a look at that one as well. Okay, good. So that one there, on that one. And then you see TradeGuider, youtube.com/TradeGuider as well. Do the same thing, hit the subscribe, hit the all bell icon as well. And then the other thing, yes, IG Index. I was there on the studios. You can watch this video, really great. We covered about 6 instruments, really enjoyed it, really nice fun, laughter. And we had a good lunch as well. After that, I was sending you some photos on the social media as well, but definitely go and watch this channel. It's really good. We looked at short-term, long-term, stocks, Bitcoin, crypto, name it. This was great. Trade Nation, quick shout out as well to them for sponsoring our Elite Traders Mastermind annual summit, and also our Telegram channel. The other thing is also the Dubai Expo. We've been invited to come and speak over there. So those of you who can make it, we'll see you there on the 17th and 18th of April. Get your tickets and fly out there. Our programmer team will be coming there as well, some of them. And also we'll meet other clients over there as well. And the last thing is I want to mention about some events coming up is Traders Talk with Mark Randall. So Mark is the co-founder of the Alpha Mind project, along with Stephen Goldstein. Some of you might know him as well. So the Alpha Mind podcast is really a well-rated podcast. So he's coming on there on the next one. This is going to be happening on the 17th of Feb, just in about 2 weeks' time. So if you want to be there, live in the action, asking questions, join the thing, you know what, register for it. Also, you'll be part of our email list as well to get in touch with future events that we do. I think with all that said, traders, I think that's a wrap up from me in terms of the trading side of things on our live trading workshop and the instruments that we have seen. Okay, as I said, first step is look at this 7 steps of CTP. Other than that, that's all from me. And as we always say, till the next time, stay disciplined, follow your trading plan, and keep trading like a master. Take care and bye for now.